quick question, N6ECI.
Go ahead, quick question.
Yeah, this is Mike from South Carolina. You can help me with setting up. My question today is, I had reports of a hum on the audio. Do you hear anything like that?
I tell you, you know, right now Mother Nature is spiking you up like 20 over, and then you're down to 0. So she's really playing a game right now. I didn't hear any hum when you were up, Roger.
Let me try ungrounding and see if that makes any difference. Okay, how about now?
I couldn't hear it the first time. I'm copying you on the Atlanta SDR. I have a pretty good copy on you, but what you need to do is, you know, say, okay, this is a test. I'm going to key for about dead key for about 5 seconds. See if you can hear some hum. Yeah, I can only hear the hum in a dead key. Roger?
In a dead key, Roger. Okay. Well then, here we go for 5 seconds of dead space. And that concludes our dead air.
I could not hear any hum at that transmission, that last transmission. During the dead air part, I could hear no hum.
I could hear no hum. Yeah. Well, very good. Maybe we fixed it. I did find a mic cable sitting pretty close to the wire that brings the signal into the SWR meter, so I thought maybe we were getting some transfer there, so I've moved those apart, and maybe that was the issue. All right, Jim, I know you want to run, so I shall let you, and I appreciate the help there. 73 N6ECI.
Okay, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Phonetically with your call sign? Sure. November 6th, Echo Charlie India.
November 6th, Echo Charlie India.
Echo Charlie India. Correct.
And the name?
And the name? Name is Mike. South Carolina, Lake Wiley.
Roger, Roger. Yeah, what you want to do is try to keep your RF to the right and your audio to the left, if you at all possible. In other words, when you lay out your shack, keep your RF to one side, and like a power amp, keep it far right, and then and make sure that transmission line leaves to the far right, that the transmission line does not come back through your audio table and back out. You know what I mean? If it requires moving the power amp to the left, then move it to the left. But you don't want your power amp output to come back into your operating area. Roger?
Area, Roger. Roger. Yeah, that might have been the problem here. There were a couple of things that were probably too close than should be for comfort. So as I've got it arranged right now, we'll see how this goes for a while and see if I get any further reports. But yeah, appreciate the help.
I did hear a little hum at that last part. Did you do anything different in the last part of that transmission?
Part of that transmission? No, I didn't. Okay. Well, first of all, check it right now. I'll give you 5 seconds. And I do have a piece of wire that I wanted to ground here, the processor over to the radio, see if that made any difference. Another 5 seconds. And how'd that go?
I didn't hear as much on the last as I did on the front. A lot of times, are you using a desk mic?
Using a desk mic? Yeah. It's a professional condenser mic going into a DBX mic processor, and then I've got that going through an attenuator and an impedance matching transformer into the mic input of this old HW101.
Okay, there is a test that I use to check out how much RF in the AF I might be enduring. I have the ability for my preamp to run my normal level 10 dB hotter than normal. And so if I want to check out the capabilities of my RF in the AF, I turn that 10 dB up all the way and see if I get any activity as far as feedback or strangeness because of the RF and the AF. That's a 10 dB boost over normal. And if I clear that, then I'm Katie bar the door, Roger.
Bar the door, Roger. Okay. Well, the output of my processor here is certainly acceptable, and I will pause for a few seconds and crank that up about 10 dB and see what happens here. Here we go. And there we were.
I did not hear it, although I am coming through the Atlanta SDR, and you know SDRs have a way of compressing the signal. You hear a bunch of, in other words, they run AGC quite heavily on the SDRs, and so when there's no audio excitation, it kind of brings the level up by itself. Have you observed that on the SDRs?
Yes, they have quite the processing on the receive. So you're talking about.
Roger. So for that reason, I usually only use SDRs as a last resort. I have spent a great deal of time and effort setting up my own station to where it does not, I have the RF level adjusted down to the point that there is no suck up, and that's the only way that you can give somebody an accurate recording is not to be an AGC. So I try to avoid that by keeping the RF level. Matter of fact, I run my AF and my RF levels together as one control, and it tends to work out pretty well that way. And I'm usually not in any kind of compression mode, so I can say to a person, they're getting a recording pretty much as close to perfection as they can get. The receiver's pretty heavily modified and flat from 100 cycles to an excess of 3K, as is the transmitter, Roger.
Yeah. Well, sounds like you've got it pretty well optimized there for both transmit and receive. Then that sounds good. Well, again, I got to run here, but I know you're running overtime on your thing here, and if you were recording this, I'll give it a couple of days and see if I can hear what this sounded like on your posting on YouTube as well. If not, look, don't worry about it. So we'll catch you again next time, Jim. 7/6 ECI.
Roger, Mike. And yeah, if you get a chance, I would drop by my local music store and get a phone windscreen. That takes care of all kinds of mannerisms of different things that come out of our mouth besides words. It is great. It just makes the audio absolutely perfect. So if you get a chance, drop by your local music store and get yourself a windscreen. They just are shorty jobbers these days and just fit right over the mic and just solves all kinds of problems. So threes, and you have a real good afternoon, great weekend, and we'll catch you later. And again, this is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. We'll be clear.